Welcome back to BikeReview Hub, the home for riders who want deep dive reviews, expert insights, and the latest motorcycle releases from across the globe. Today, we are looking at a bike that blends two worlds, the confidence-inspiring dynamics of Yamaha's modern MT-03 with the unmistakable charm of retro motorcycle design. The result is the 2025 Yamaha MT-03 Retro, a machine that takes proven performance and wraps it in timeless style. Whether you're a fan of Yamaha's modern MT line or a lover of heritage-inspired machines, this one demands your attention. Design and styling, a fusion of eras. The 2025 Yamaha MT-03 Retro takes the aggressive Street Fighter DNA of the standard MT-03 and softens it with nostalgic design touches. Up front, the angular LED projector is replaced by a round LED headlamp unit framed in brushed aluminum, reminiscent of Yamaha's 1970s roadsters. The headlight bezel, combined with the slightly raised chrome finish handlebars, instantly sets the tone. The fuel tank now has a teardrop contour with subtle knee indents for a vintage silhouette, paired with dual-tone paint jobs like retro blue-white and classic yellow-black, both accented with hand-applied pinstriping. The minimalist side covers and tail section keep the lines clean, while the stitched leather seat adds both visual authenticity and riding comfort. Every detail, from the polished exhaust heat shield to the circular mirrors, reinforces the bike's retro identity without crossing into full classic territory. Engine and performance, proven twin with modern refinement. Beneath the heritage skin lies a thoroughly modern power plant. The 321 cubic centimeters, liquid-cooled, parallel twin DOHC engine is unchanged in its fundamental architecture from the MT-03, delivering 41 horsepower at 10,750 RPM and 29.6 Nm of torque at 9,000 RPM. This engine is known for its smoothness, reliability, and a playful top-end character that keeps the ride engaging. For the Retro Edition, Yamaha has made minor ECU refinements for sharper throttle response at low revs, ideal for city riding. The 6-speed gearbox shifts crisply, with a well-weighted clutch that's friendly for beginners but responsive enough for more spirited riders. At around 168 kilograms wet weight, the MT-03 Retro remains incredibly manageable, allowing confident handling in tight urban spaces and spirited performance on winding backroads. Chassis and handling. Urban agility meets weekend fun. The frame is Yamaha's familiar lightweight diamond-type steel structure, designed to balance rigidity with a touch of flexibility for comfort. 37mm KYB upside-down forks up front and a rear monoshock with preload adjustment provide a planted yet forgiving ride. Yamaha has softened the suspension slightly over the standard MT-03, giving the Retro a smoother feel over bumpy city streets without losing cornering confidence. The bike's 51/49 weight distribution keeps it nimble in turns, and the wide handlebars give great leverage when weaving through traffic. On twisty roads, the MT-03 Retro feels stable and predictable, with enough feedback through the chassis to inspire confidence for newer riders while still rewarding experienced ones. Braking and safety, confidence at every stop. The braking setup remains a 298mm front disc with twin-piston calipers and a 220mm rear disc, supported by Yamaha's dual-channel ABS. The braking feel is progressive, with enough initial bite for urban stops and strong power for emergency situations. The ABS intervention is smooth and non-intrusive, especially useful on slippery road conditions. For the Retro model, Yamaha has focused on brake feel, refining the master cylinder and caliper pistons for more consistent feedback, which is noticeable during spirited rides or repeated braking on downhill roads. Technology, modern convenience in a retro wrapper. While the MT-03 Retro looks old school, its feature list is anything but dated. Lighting is full LED, from the headlamp to the indicators and taillight, ensuring high visibility in all conditions. The instrument cluster is a compact LCD unit that provides a gear position indicator, fuel gauge, trip meters, and a digital tachometer. Yamaha deliberately chose a retro-style circular housing for the display to match the bike's theme. The MT-03 Retro also benefits from Yamaha's refined fueling and ride-by-wire throttle system, ensuring smooth acceleration across the rev range. Though there's no riding modes or traction control, keeping it simple and affordable, the chassis balance and ABS make it a very safe and predictable ride. Ergonomics and comfort, built for real-world riding. The MT-03 Retro's ergonomics have been adjusted to suit its new role as both a commuter and a weekend leisure bike. The handlebar is positioned slightly higher and closer to the rider, reducing wrist strain on longer rides. The seat height remains 780mm, keeping it accessible to riders of varying heights, and the foot pegs are set for a natural riding stance rather than an aggressive lean-forward position. The redesigned seat has thicker padding and a slight contour to hold the rider comfortably in place. Passenger accommodations are modest but usable, with a padded rear section and grab rails discreetly integrated into the tail design. Fuel economy and running costs, affordable style. With its efficient 321 cubic centimeters twin, the MT-03 Retro offers fuel economy of around 30 to 33 km/h, depending on riding style. Combined with a 14-litre fuel tank, that gives a realistic range of over 400 kilometers between fill-ups. Maintenance remains straightforward, with service intervals similar to the MT-03, meaning low running costs for daily riders. Target riders. Who is the MT-03 Retro for? Yamaha designed the MT-03 Retro for a specific audience, riders who appreciate classic aesthetics but don't want the compromises of older machines. It's ideal for urban commuters who want something stylish for weekday rides but also fun and capable enough for weekend getaways. Beginners will love its forgiving power delivery, low weight, and approachable seat height, while experienced riders will enjoy its nimbleness and rev-happy twin on twisty roads. Its retro styling also makes it a unique proposition in the small capacity segment, competing with bikes like the Kawasaki Z400RS, Honda CB300R, and Royal Enfield Hunter 350, though with a sportier edge. Final thoughts. A small bike with big character. The 2025 Yamaha MT-03 Retro is proof that a motorcycle can combine modern engineering with heritage-inspired looks without losing its soul. It offers reliable Yamaha performance, everyday usability, and an undeniable style that stands out in the crowd. For those who want a practical yet characterful ride that nods to the golden era of motorcycling, this is a bike worth shortlisting. It's not just a smaller displacement machine, it's a gateway to fun, freedom, and individuality on two wheels. And in a market flooded with either overly modern or overly traditional bikes, the MT-03 Retro strikes a balance that's hard to ignore.